Hi guys, Jim West here, back again with another unboxing video here. This time I know what's coming in the box. This is just going to be a little quick, kind of how they feel, things like that. But before we cut over to some field shots for it. So let's take a look at these. This is my order of the brand new mold from Prodigy disc, the Pivot. This is in their base grip plastic. So if you've ever had like a P Model S, P Model US, something like that, one of those type of discs, the base grip. Base grip has good grip to it. Here we go. First one checking out here is now these are all going to be hockey stamped. It's their partnership with the NHL. So, and they're basically matching team colors. So the first one here, I believe this is the Vegas Knights. I don't know a whole lot about hockey. This was the Knights one on there, and that's actually more gold than I thought. On the website, it looked more yellow. So I really like that. I actually kind of wanted a gold type color. Initial feel of it, it does feel quite similar to a PA3. I got one of my soft 300 soft PA3s here. So grip on that. It's definitely, it feels a little more rounded to me. So I like that feel. It's a good, it kind of feels like more like a mid-range, honestly, than the PA3 does. PA3 kind of has that shoulder, blocky shoulder kind of feel of a putter versus this. So that's really nice. So that's my Knights one. I had to get Dallas Stars. I'm in Texas, DFW kind of area and stuff. So yeah, I had to get a Dallas Stars one, rep the home team. So the bead feels a lot like the PA3 bead. Yeah, to me maybe a hair smaller, but overall feels really good for the depth of it and everything. And then I had to get this one just because of the movie back in the day, The Mighty Ducks. So I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong getting the Ducks, man. First impression, they feel really good in the hand. Actually, it feels a little awkward for a sidearm grip. It's a little too rounded for me to have that good, confident feel of a sidearm. So I do like to sidearm my putters sometimes, but I have one for that already, so I don't really need it. I can't wait to see how these things putt and how they fly. All right, guys. Now we're out here in my local field that I use to practice in all the time. Kind of roughly from where my camera is to that big hill back there is about 410 feet or so. So I know I got plenty of room, especially for throwing putters. I'm not AB. I'm not getting a putter over 400 feet right now. So yeah. But yeah, so I did the unboxing with these in the bedroom and stuff, kind of the initial feel of them and everything. I did some putting in the yard, which you'll see here in just a minute. And now we're out here in the field. I'm about to do some throws with them, see how good they are in throwing as a throwing putter. We do have a bit of a tailwind right now. I got tailwind going that way. I'm gonna be throwing them back with a little bit of headwind also. Just kind of see how they do, how they handle on everything. I'm going to be comparing these to my 300 Ultra Soft PA3s that I have here, matching set, as well as I'm going to be comparing them to these D-Line Flex 1 Rainmakers. I chose the Rainmaker because I explained more also in the putting portion how the roundedness of the pivot here, it feels a whole lot, to me anyways, in my hand, it feels extremely similar to a Rainmaker. So that's why I really, really wanted to test it out. So far, it's kind of acted a lot like it. And those were my favorite putters when I was using all those discs and stuff beforehand when I had open bag. And don't get me wrong, the PA3 is a phenomenal putter, but I might end up switching to these because so far they have been straighter, more glidey on there and get more distance out of them and stuff. They feel great in the hand for throwing. They feel great in the hand for putting also. I got that nice bead I can rest my finger on. More again, that in the putting portion. So let's get to throwing these. I'm going to start out with throwing the PA3s. I'm going to try and throw them kind of flat on all of them, just kind of see what they do with this tailwind here. So mostly just flat throws. All right, 300 Ultra Soft PA3, nice and flat. Okay, held nice and straight. I got an amp mount on my left. I just saw that thing. Nice and straight, minimal fade on there. Now for my Anaheim Ducks pivot.
Definitely, definitely a lot more glide. I love the glide on these things. It's super, super nice. There goes the Dallas Stars. Dead straight, no deviation, no fade. Even with a little bit of tailwind, I'm getting no fade right now, which is awesome. Now for the Vegas Knights here. I put a little extra spin on that one. Ah, look at that. Put a little more spin on it, and I got some fade out of that. Okay. And now for these Rainmakers here and stuff. They discontinued this mold, I do believe, last I heard. So just a little heads up there. I came out on a little bit of hyzer. You see, it's got really good glide also, and kind of that small, very, very minimal fade. So that's a good thing. That's my dog in the distance. Oh, that came out low. All right, so not too bad. So now we're gonna go collect them and throw them back. All right, so now we're heading back into the headwind. I made sure I don't have any ant mounds in front of me this time. I had kind of a good little stopping point right there for my plant. And again, gonna do PA3s, pivots, rainmakers. Little higher. Okay. Wind kind of stalls it out a little bit. Got a little nose up. Now, I'm not the best thrower. I'm not the most consistent thrower. Obviously, I'm not a pro by any means. So, much better. Nose down. There we go. Still very nice flight. Good, reliable, stable flight. That came out so wobbly. There we go. Got some height on it. Get a little bit of finish. Got some fade on that one. Okay. That was a good one. There it is. Look at that glide. It just dropped kind of straight down on there. I didn't mention this before, but I kind of prefer doing my disc reviews out here in the field as opposed to on a course. Because out here, I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about any traffic, like course traffic or anything. Worry about any variables like trees or something like that getting in the way of what shot shape am I trying to see if the disc can handle, what it does when you try and throw that hyzer, any turnover, dead straight, whatever. Any shot shape. You can try it out here in the field and you don't have to worry about much. It's just nice and relaxing for me, anyways, to get out and just throw some back and forth for a little while and just have a little bit of fun with it, learn what these different plastics can do. And right now, these pivots are just absolutely money. Oh, I got over on that one. Did not mean to do that. Even still, that fought out a little bit. Didn't cut roll on me. I did just come off of work also. So, like, I'm tired. No, I came straight from work. Went home, changed, came here. So, definitely getting a little tired already. My release is not consistent. But then again, that's why I'm an amateur. And that's why pretty much all these series here are from the amateur's perspective. Because we're not the most consistent group. Things like that happen. That's realistic for us at this level. I'm kind of at like I'm in that MA2 range, like high MA3, low to mid MA2. I've won a few MA2s around that MA3, MA2 range and stuff like that. We're not the most consistent, but consistent enough to play at those levels and stuff. Like right now, I'm at 80. I'm only 880 rated. It's not too high, not too low either. I mean, it's kind of not too bad overall. I don't think so. Overall, right now, those pivots, they seem to be really, really good. I'm really liking the glide on them. Like I said, it reminds me a whole lot of those rainmakers there. And so I feel like they're a good comparison disc for the flight, stability, the feel with the roundedness on it. It's a beaded version basically, and I love that. I've really come to like beaded putters, considering the PA3s that I've been using for a long time now. I hope that soon they'll end up making the pivot in a 300 soft fractal So yeah, Will, if you see this, please, 300 soft fractal pivot. I absolutely love 300 soft fractal. It is like the best putting plastic in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, the base grip plastic that these come in are great. They have good grip once you've kind of beat them in a little bit and like scuffed them up. Get a little bit of chalk on them, things of that nature. Once you get it all there, then they have really good grip. But straight out of the box, in my opinion, they are a little bit slick, so it can kind of mess with your grip a little bit, kind of get in your head, things like that. So all in all, kind of a little recap. Overall, what I think of the brand new Prodigy mold, the pivot putters, they are fantastic. Um, the only thing, honestly, that I do not like about them is I was trying some approach shots at the house and everything from across the street and everything. When I tried them forehand, that's what, like, just the roundedness of it and the way the inner rim feels. It doesn't feel good for my forehand. That's just me, I guess. Some people may prefer them for that or might do good with them there. By all means, go give it a try. But overall, for putting, for throwing, and just the overall feel of them, the plastic, the stamps, they nailed the team stamps on here. These are official NHL licensed products. Prodigy is partnered with the NHL, so fantastic job on that, Will. Kudos for getting that deal. So yeah, if you guys want to try these out, definitely go pick you up some on May 1st when they drop. Overall, these feel very good. The bead on them is yeah. I'm gonna really enjoy throwing these. I'm definitely gonna get me a matching set here soon. I'll probably end up getting another matching one of these just because I love red. That's my favorite color and everything. So I'll probably get me another one of these here. I mean, this is just can't really say enough good things about them. So like I said, after this section here is going to be the putting, me putting with these in my yard. It's be about 15, 25 to 35 feet, all three distances there. I am going to be, you'll notice a little wardrobe change there. This was shot yesterday. As I had time, I was at the house. I didn't have time to come out here yesterday, unfortunately. But I did today, so it's gonna be a little mix up of when things were shot and everything. So you'll be able to tell though. Let's head on over to the putting green. All right, so I'm out here at my practice basket in my yard. I've got 3 stations set up here with my cones, about 15 feet, roughly 25, and roughly 35 feet. That way I get some inside the circle, close putting, and then I get a little bit of outside the circle C2. See how these putters do. We got a pretty strong tailwind right now. I'm pretty sure you can hear that on the microphone. Tailwind kind of going to help out a bit with not having to worry about it lift so much. I can do my normal putting stroke, so it's not going to be too much of a factor, I don't think. Not only do I have the 3 new pivots here and stuff to be putting with today, I've also got my normal. These are my primary putting putters for when I'm out on the course, tournaments, all that and the other. These are my 300 soft fractal PA3s. They feel very similar to it, so I want to see how these are putting in a like direct comparison against the pivot, as well as I have another 2 other putters here. They're the same mold that I used to putt with all the time, and everything from a different manufacturer. Feels extremely similar to when I hold it in my hand. So I wanted to get a direct comparison of that too, just to see kind of if it reminds me more of just a beaded version of this versus just a straighter flying PA3. So I felt like it'd be a good comparison, so I wanted to put it in here. So first up, we're going from the 15-foot, uh, essentially bullseye, just outside of bullseye, with the PA3s, pivots, and then the others. Typically, from this close, you don't really get a whole lot of idea how a putter is going to be moving and stuff. But I felt like it's good to do up close, mid, and then kind of far. So overall, the slight, I would say, dominess of the pivot here, it's a little bit taller on the top. It feels like to me than the PA3. Um, I really like that slight dome when it comes to like my drivers and stuff. So that feels really natural and really good to me to hold in my hand. It's a good full feeling, so to speak. That was just a bad putt on the last one. I felt the wind picking up and just threw it too high. Those gusts of wind are what always get me. So yeah, but first impressions from 15 feet, not bad. It feels the same, putt's the same at the moment. Now we're gonna take it back to about the 25-foot section and see what we can do from here. Again, I'm gonna go with PA3s to start, pivots, and then might as well just say what they are, the Rainmaker. Not necessarily about how many I make, honestly. When I'm doing these kind of practice sessions, it's just is my putting stroke feeling good? Is the disc feeling good in my hand during the putt? You know, is it making me go off course or anything? That one was just bad. That was low. It's definitely different. Wow, definitely different gripping that base grip versus 300 fractal. So yeah, the fractal is definitely a little bit grippier. Although, but we'll say that. Apparently, my 25-foot needs more work. Obviously, I'm not the best putter out there. We're gonna go ahead and move it back to the 35-foot now. Slightly outside the circle. So I probably get a couple jumpers in, a couple steppers, see roughly where everything's at. Same order, normal putters, pivots, and then rainmakers. These are supposed to be like glidier PA3s. Definitely glidier. Holy cow. Was not expecting it to hold that long, that high. There it is. Hey, puppies. You say hi? You say hi? Okay, bye. Wait, is that? That's Scarlet. Oh, she got big. That's a big girl. That's Scarlet. Hello. Hi, Miss Bay. Hello. Hey there, Scarlet. How you doing, baby girl? How you doing, little girl? Hey, go. Come on. Go. Not big though. Yeah. The other one was the other puppy they brought to us one time. I can't remember the name, but yeah. From 35 here. More standstill putts this time. Not as many jumpers. See if we can't get them closer. Ah, no tailwind. That would have been in. Oh, way too high. That is a lot of glide to it, though. They really are a glidier PA3. So, yeah. Now, the reins. Too high. Overcompensated for the wind. Nope, too low. So, overall, first impressions of the new pivot are great. Like, back when I was throwing the Rainmakers there and stuff a couple years ago, they're my go-to putter because I really, really, really love the feel of them and the grip of them in the hand. And these pivots feel very much the same. So yeah, overall, these things are fantastic. And the base grip plastic, I feel like it starts out brand new, a little slick on the slicker side. But like I said, the base grip plastic tends to start out a little bit more slicker side of things. But once you've used it a bit, it kind of gets that scuff texture to it, and the grip improves, becomes better over time. So yeah, definitely highly recommend these. I'm definitely gonna be putting them in the bag as throwing putter to start with, and then I might work on transitioning over to it. So that was the putting session with these here in the yard. First, overall, I really like them. It's that they feel great in the hand. It feels like a direct replacement of what I used to putt with. But with the bead that I've come to really, really love on my putters is it gives me that mental confidence of where my finger's sitting. You know, it does the edge doesn't just drop off into it and stuff. It's like a stopping point that I know is like, okay, fingers set, I'm good to go and everything. They got a lot of glide. Even though it's a tailwind kind of helping to push things, they definitely held in the air a lot longer than my PA3s did, especially from the 35 range there. got that good late stability for that I feel like a putter should have. You know, because every now and then you need a putter to move left to right, right to left, depending on throwing lefty or righty kind of thing. So these definitely have that, and they're good and straight, very straight for inside the circle, even outside the circle power putt. If you put it with a lot of power to it, it's just going to want to go dead straight. You take off a little bit on it, you know, let off a bit, you'll get that fade. So overall impressions, really great putters. Definitely can't wait till these get scuffed up a little bit. That way their grip kind of improves. That's what I found on the base grip. Overall, might do really, really well with some chalk on there. So yeah. But that's my overall first impressions of the new pivot putter from Prodigy. These are staying in the bag for now as my primary putting putters, probably for the remainder of the season. And I might switch to these next season, just depending on how things go. So yeah, thanks for watching.